Om Shanti. Today Baba in the Murli tells us that just like you change your costume when you finish a role and enter another, similarly change into your angelic costume whenever you finish performing a physical role. Do you do that? Yes. So there are some, as soon as they come from office, they have to change into something light. They cannot keep wearing those office clothes. Or you have different sets of clothes for different occasions. And Baba says here also, why do you carry the burden of the physical body? So when you are acting through the body, when you are performing action through the body, then you definitely have to be aware of the body. And body consciousness is a state of heaviness, a state of burden all the time. And Baba says, whenever you're not using your body enough, just change into your angelic costume. So there are times when children ask this question that we cannot always change into our seed stage. Yes, so you cannot always come to this awareness that you are a point of light. So if you are doing something with your hands or something that's not very something that's not using too much of your energy or thought, but some light activity you're doing, like cleaning or cooking, then you cannot be in your seed stage, because that would be a stage of stillness. Yes, but you have to move and you have to do things. So you can be in your angelic stage, where you are full of virtues and full of lightness, and you're doing everything in a very light fashion, not in a body conscious fashion. And then even when you are sitting, you can sit like an angel and feel that, just like in the meditation we practice, that I am not limited by my physical context. I operate in the universal context, and an angel doesn't need a car to move from here to there. You can just fly, and you can reach anywhere and do whatever you want with the power of your subtle thoughts. You can even make your presence felt. So it's not just you will be moving around, but other people will also become aware of your presence. And Baba says you can operate through this method by using your angelic body. Do you know you have an angelic body also? So you have a physical body, but you have an angelic body also, and we have not used it for a long time. But if you want, you can use it now, and you can start becoming aware of your angelic body. And even while sitting in one place, you can do things through your angelic body. So you can touch people's hearts and minds and change their awareness and change atmospheres by doing it through your angelic body. And Baba says, when you practice this, then this will help you at the time of destruction. And let me tell you something that we have learned from Brahma Baba's life story. So Brahma Baba practiced a lot of angelic consciousness, and there was an incident where somebody came to physically harm Brahma Baba. So this person was sent by a group of people who were against this idea of purity that Shiv Baba was teaching, and they wanted to, they sent this person to cause physical harm to Brahma Baba. And when this person came in, Brahma Baba was sitting after dinner in yoga in remembrance of Baba. And he was, when this person entered the room, Baba Kamra, then he could not see Brahma Baba there. All he could see was just light. He could only see light there. And then this person had faith in Guru Nanak, and he felt like Guru Nanak Dev Ji is sitting in front of him in that light form. And then he just bowed down before Brahma Baba and asked for forgiveness. And he said, I did not know anything about you, and I did not know that you are Guru Nanak Dev Ji and sitting in front of me. But these people had given me some money to cause physical harm, so I came anyway. But now I know you. And he just bowed down and left. So what Baba is saying is, when someone comes in front of you, if you have been practicing your angelic stage, they will not be able to see you. They will only see light. And no physical harm can be caused to a body of light. So nothing, not the 5 elements of nature, nor any human attack will come to you, because they cannot see you. They will only see your body of light. And Baba says, this is your protection in Vinash Kal. So when destruction takes place, this is how you will be safe from any attack. But how will that happen? That will happen when you practice staying in this angelic stage, moving from your corporeal costume into your angelic costume every now and then. Yes. And so do you, I remember once, there was this brother, and he had spent a lot of time in Japan, and he resides in Delhi, but he has almost been staying in Japan for several years. And when I was giving him the course, I told him about energy, and I said that, when an energy is directed towards you, you can do 3 things with it. You can reflect it back, you can absorb it, or you can transform it. And then he asked me a very interesting question. He said, what if I just escape? So I said, how do you do that? So he said, sister, in Japan, when they teach martial arts, they teach a person to just escape the attack, not reflect it, not absorb it, not transform it, just escape. So then he was talking about martial arts, and then it occurred to me that yes, you can also escape the attack by becoming an angel. And an angel is transparent, right? An angel is not opaque like the physical body. It's a body of light. And when you are in your angelic stage, then you will not be affected by physical energy. You don't even need to transform it. It will just pass through you and not affect you. So that's the angelic stage where you do not relate to the physical world anymore. You just see yourself as someone who has been sent by Baba to uplift the physical world. So you're not part of this world, you're above this world, and you are giving the energy it requires to uplift this world. That is why angels are shown to reside in the subtle region. So this is not your home, this is not where you operate. This is where you come so that you can transform it into a different world. You bring your energy of purity, you bring your energy of lightness, you bring your energy of the Midas touch that can change the impure into pure here. And when you operate from that level of consciousness, then anything in this world which can affect a body conscious soul is not able to affect you. You don't even need to do the work to reflect it or absorb it or transform it. You don't even have to transform it. It just gets transformed on its own because of your presence. And no energy in this world is able to touch you or affect you. And Baba says, when it is time for destruction, destruction is always a word connected to the physical world. Yes, all the physical is destructible. And when you have lifted your consciousness away from the physical world, from physicality, then destruction cannot affect you. So, are you an angel, and how much of an angel have you become? So we need to, and Baba is sowing these seeds into our consciousness so that we can sit in yoga and allow these seeds to germinate. Yes, a thought is a seed, and Baba gives us these seeds. And if you water it with awareness, water it with conscious thought, then you will be able to get the fruit of this seed, the fruit of realization, the fruit of power, the fruit of a powerful stage. You will get that. But do you take the seeds and water them and give them enough sunlight? So who's the sun? Shiv Baba is the sun. You have to give the sunlight to the seed. You have to sit in Baba's awareness. You have to water it with, thoughts related to that point of knowledge. And when you do all this reflection, when you sit and churn over these things, you become an embodiment of the point and you become very powerful. So Baba is giving us an idea of an angel, how to transition into an angel all the time. So you already have a body of light. Do you know that? Just like you have this physical body, you are a soul, and you didn't know it until today, until we did the course, we didn't know. So just like you are a soul, and that point of light is sitting in the center of the forehead, and we never knew. And now that we know, can you feel it? Yes, you can experience your spiritual self. Just like that, Baba is telling you, encapsulated in this corporeal body, there is a body of light. So it's like there is a point of light, covered by a body of light, and that body of light is covered with matter all around it. So if you just shed off that corporeal body for some time, can you sit in the awareness of your body of light? Did you come to that awareness now? Yes. So there is a body of light which is hidden by this corporeal body. And when you just forget your corporeal body, you can get in touch with your body of light. And when you, the soul, are in your body of light, you are in your angelic stage, a stage which is full of compassion, a stage which is full of purity and healing energy, a stage where there is no haste, there is no urge, there is no, there is no, this pushing energy is not there. It's very light, it goes with the flow. And in that stage, you don't ask, what am I getting? You are just willing to give and contribute to any soul, any situation, whatever you can. So that's the angelic stage. So just get in touch with this angelic stage whenever you find time. And when you keep doing that, this practice will enable you to become so powerful that when the time of destruction comes, no physical attack will be able to reach you. Yes, no physical attack will be able to reach you. And I will tell you another incident about this. So there were these two women and these two matas, and they went for a morning walk together. And one of them was a Brahmin, Bacha Baba. And both of them were wearing gold chains. And one person just snatched the chain of this one Mata and ran away. And then they went to the police station, and then this person was also finally, put under arrest. So this person who had mobbed them. And then this person was asked, so why did you mob the one behind? So the one who was mobbed was the non-BK, and the BK was not mobbed. And the BK woman was in the front, and this one was behind. So that person was asked, why did you mob the one behind, and why did you leave the one in front? And he said there was no one in front. There was only this one woman walking. So this other woman was not present. And he was asked several times, and he kept saying that there was no other woman there. There was only this one woman who I mobbed. And why I'm narrating this experience is, this is the experience that happens when you are in your angelic stage. So no physical harm, no negative energy will be able to detect you. So, even energy-wise, physically, if you're very subtle, you're very hard to detect. Yes, you need very refined instruments to detect the presence of subtle matter. The more gross you are, the more detectable you are. Yes, so Baba says that if you keep moving from gross to subtle, then negative energy will not be able to detect you. You will not fall under their radar. Yes. Have you seen that There are some places like, even religious places. Most people don't think about harming a religious place, do they? So, negativity and piousness. So, where there is purity, negativity loses its power. So, Baba says this is how it will work. But the fruits are beautiful, but in order to take the taste of the fruits, you have to water the seed. So we understand that this is the angelic stage, this is the benefit of the angelic stage, but then we must take care to build it. And Baba has given us the formula that Baba says, it will be as though you wear a costume to play your part, and that as soon as you finish your part, you take it off. Put it on in a second and then take it off in a second. That is become detached. So you keep doing this with your physical costume. When you have this practice, others who will see you will see that you are wearing a costume of light, and that light is your decoration. Okay, so this is it. Now today Baba also talks about how to have an auspicious meeting with yourself. So there is meeting yourself, there is meeting Baba. Meeting Baba is always auspicious, yes, but meeting yourself can be auspicious and inauspicious. So earlier also I shared that incident with you where I asked a girl to sit in silence with herself, and she got really crazy sitting with herself. Okay, so how do you meet yourself? So sometimes, you sit in yoga, and I have had a recent experience where somebody related this to me. And they said that I sit in yoga for many hours a day, maybe 3 hours, 4 hours, and I am not feeling happy and enthusiastic, and I'm not feeling recharged. So I said, okay, so let's find out if that is yoga or not. Because you think you're sitting in yoga, but let's find out what you're doing while you're sitting. So they said that when I sit, what I do is, if somebody has talked badly to me, I say, no, it's okay, it's part of drama. They are a good soul. They are a pure soul. They are Baba's child. So I said, yoga means being self-aware and talking to Baba, not talking to that person about their goodness. That's not yoga. So, we don't even leave the external world while we go within. Yoga starts with I am a soul. And you do not take your physical context with you in yoga. You leave it outside. You leave the events, you leave the souls outside. You go within and sit in solitude. You detach from your physical context and sit with yourself. And then you don't think about your physical context. You think about your spiritual journey. A soul thinking about itself and its spiritual journey, and then talking to Baba about spiritual matters is yoga. Yes. And before we will be able to do that, let us understand this one basic thing. You don't have to forgive people or deal with situations. There is no situation out there that is to be dealt with. There is no person out there who has to be dealt with. The only thing that has to be dealt with is your own sanskar. And your sanskars, those sanskars which are getting triggered in the face of behavior and situations, are sanskars that are like darkness inside the soul. And you cannot push away darkness, you cannot finish darkness until you switch on the light. So when you sit with yourself, you don't think about people and situations who triggered that sanskar, nor do you think about the sanskar that got triggered. You think about who you really are. You reflect on your virtuous, powerful self. And when you switch on this light of self-awareness, slowly and gradually the darkness goes away. And then when you switch on the light of awareness of how you belong to that Almighty Baba, you are the child, you're not alone. You're the child of the Almighty. And by virtue of being that child, you have enormous powers and you have great virtues. And when you sit in that awareness, that is called an auspicious meeting with yourself. So meeting is not enough. It has to be an auspicious meeting. Sometimes people will tell you that you should meet yourself once in a day or twice in a day. So I have heard these things even before Gyan. So people tell that you should meet yourself once in a day. But the problem is you don't know yourself. And the way you know yourself, you don't want to meet yourself. And so you invite other people into the chat room and then you start chatting about them to yourself. So meeting yourself in a way that it turns out to be a Shubh Sammelan or an auspicious meeting is when you sit and talk about your spiritual journey, your spiritual powers and virtues to yourself. And when you sit in the awareness of being Baba's child and you talk to Baba about the cycle and about whatever Baba tells you about you. So Baba tells all the stuff about us which is so elevated, sometimes it sounds unbelievable. And Baba is always reminding us of our glory, yes, of our elevated stage, of our elevated history. And when you sit with yourself and with Baba, reflecting on these elevated states, that is called an auspicious meeting with yourself. So don't just meet yourself, let it be an auspicious meeting. Because if we don't do it right, then it comes out to be a disaster. Yes, so if you don't know how to think right, sitting with yourself can be quite scary. Yes, if you just sit and churn over this person did this to you and how you need to forgive them, and you spend half an hour trying to forgive them, whereas you are nobody to forgive them. Can you forgive them? You have to forget them. Forgiving them is not your problem. You don't have to do that. That's not your job. You forget them. That's your job. Forgiving Baba will take care of it. Yes, you don't have the power to forgive somebody. Do you have it? You only have the power to forget And in doing that, you forgive yourself. Yes. So if somebody comes and asks also for forgiveness, you should know that you don't have the power to forgive anybody. Yes, so this is very interesting, and you should always know how to have an auspicious meeting with yourself. And Baba teaches us everything, so Baba is teaching us this. And I was amazed that until today we didn't know how to meet ourselves also. So we didn't, Baba gave us the introduction of ourselves, we know ourselves, but then we didn't know how to meet ourselves also. So whenever we met ourselves, we invited 4 other people and made it a party, and then the whole purpose was forfeited. So do that. And whenever you come in the class also, we are always talking about seva, because when Brahmins come together, we are a powerful force, and we should always think about how to plan to make the world a better place, how to plan to, devise strategies so that more and more souls get the spiritual knowledge. So this is the meeting. So this is one thing. And then Baba today also talks about pilgrimage, and in the Murli, Baba says something very interesting. So Baba says, there is a difference between wandering and pilgrimage. So people roam all the time, but then they don't say it's a pilgrimage. So even if, somebody goes to Ujjain, and then sometimes they will say, I went on a pilgrimage, and sometimes they will say, I went on a holiday. Yes, so even in bhakti, you don't use the word pilgrimage for every visit. Yes, so pilgrimage means where your destination is a place of purity and power, usually a temple, yes, in bhakti. And Baba says, in Gyan, we don't talk about physical pilgrimages. We don't talk about going physically to a pious place like a temple. Baba says, because that pious place is also a part of Kali Yuga, and it doesn't have any other vibrations. It is also part of Kali Yuga. And Baba says that here you do a spiritual pilgrimage. And if you look at it that way, even the soul keeps moving its attention from here to there all the time, right? So you're sometimes thinking about your office, sometimes your home, sometimes about the park, sometimes about the market. So you're always roaming around, even spiritually. But that's not a pilgrimage. What is a pilgrimage? When you move your attention to pure worlds, your sweet home, which is a world of purity, and you move your attention to Baba, who is the ocean of purity, and when you anchor your attention to the golden age, which is again a world of purity, so that is a pilgrimage. And Baba says, this pilgrimage you have to keep doing constantly, 24/7. So that pilgrimage you do one off at a time, and here you do it continuously. So continuously let your man and buddhi be there in the pure worlds, in front of the ocean of purity, Baba. And then Baba says that one prerequisite for being on a pilgrimage in bhakti also is you observe purity. Yes, so nobody engages in impure food or lust while on a pilgrimage. So Baba says here you are on a constant pilgrimage 24/7. So you cannot be impure. You have to observe purity all the time. Not only when you are on a pilgrimage, because here the pilgrimage is a constant one. And then Baba tells the difference between the tirth in bhakti and the tirth here. He says that in bhakti, you go on a pilgrimage and then you return to the impure world again. Yes? But here, you keep doing this remembrance pilgrimage and then you permanently shift to a pure world and you don't come back to the impure world anymore. So there is a difference between physical pilgrimage and spiritual pilgrimage. And Baba says, now you stop doing those physical pilgrimages and focus on the spiritual one. Okay? So when you read the Murli, you will have a lot more clarity. And there is another point that Baba gives us today, and it's about the caste of the soul. So do you know that we souls also have different castes? So there are Brahmin souls, and among Brahmin souls there are deity souls and there are Kshatriya souls. And then there are Vaishya souls who come from Dwapar Yuga. And then there are Shudra souls also who come later on. So souls are also of different qualities. Not every soul is the same. So just like you see in a CD shop, every CD is made of the same matter. But the recording in every CD is different. Some CD has a horror movie recorded in it. Some has a comedy recorded in it. Similarly, the part of every soul is different. So not every soul is a Brahmin soul who is going to be a deity soul. Yes, so as souls, we are very different. And in this whole world, there are only 33 crore souls who become direct children of Baba right now, who take their inheritance from Prajapita Brahma Baba, and then those who go to Satyug and become deities. So Baba says that Shiv Baba is the parent of every soul. But then Shiv Baba gives us inheritance through Brahma Baba. And not every soul comes in contact with Brahma Baba. There are only very few who come in contact with Brahma Baba and take their inheritance from Shiv Baba through Brahma Baba. And Baba says, your caste, you the direct mouth-born children of Brahma Baba, are the number one category of souls. Your caste is the number one caste. And do you know there is a mention of caste duty in the Gita? So the Gita talks about caste duty, and the Gita says that every soul should know his caste and his caste duty. And Baba says, you must know what your caste is. You belong to this. You are the ones who are being directly sustained by Baba. And you are the number one caste. And you cannot shy away from your duty of serving the whole world. Okay, so there are different castes of souls, and then there are different caste duties also. Got it? Did you get this point? Yes, every soul is, and according to the caste, you receive every facility, right? So we are receiving the facilities that only the number one souls are receiving, and then we also have to live up to our caste duty. Om Shanti.